but who better than me?
Welcome back to volume 8 of the Femme Files. Now, funny story. So I actually recorded this about 2 weeks ago, or just under 2 weeks ago. And I wasn't really happy with the way it came out. Some of the lighting, some of the backdrops, it just wasn't looking as it needed to. So I was trying to do some editing on it. Didn't work, so I scrapped it, said I'm gonna re-record it and get it uploaded for fight weekend. And lo and behold, we all know what happens. Fight week gets called off, but I still wanted to show some love to the women on the undercard that some people don't know of, and try to just give a little bit of history about some of them as best I can from what knowledge I have of them. I'm not gonna act like it's vast in this sphere, because I have spoken about the majority of the people that I do know well, but I know enough, so we'll see how far we get. It's also weird because going into that card I actually spoke about quite a few people that was on it. You're talking about Alicia Baumgardner, Michaela Mayer, Caroline Dubois, Shannon Ryan, Ginny Fuchs. They're all in episodes of the Femme Files and volumes of the Femme Files from back in the day. So if you check the Femme Files collection within the channel, you'll be able to see them there. But I want to touch on another few members of the roster, and yes, whatever information I can give, we will get that. So without further ado, let's get into the first person. Right, so the first person I want to talk about is a fairly new member to the professional ranks. Had a marginal bit of success within the amateurs. Became a gold medalist in the 2017 Commonwealth Youth Games, and I think a silver medalist in the 2018 games as well. So there's a decent amount of amateur pedigree there. Currently sporting a professional record of 2-0 with no knockouts. I want to go to Georgia O'Connor. Now, when looking at Georgia's style, from the professional fights that she has fought, she's got very much, it's a hybrid style. It's almost like a pressuring pure boxer. Like she edges forward on the front foot, low lead hand, sort of very loose shoulders, almost in a swaying motion, and sort of she will pop the jab out there. She might try and fire off a jab 1-2, but she's always sort of, while she's approaching, she will still end up in and out. So her opponents will move, she'll move with them. Once she hits her strikes, she normally backs out slightly to reset, to sort of go for another attack. Not leaving very many openings to get countered. Occasionally, obviously, if she gets tied up and gets caught in the clinch, she will try to work in the clinch as well to initiate a break, and then she sort of goes back onto her game. She's very calm and composed in the ring, and from what I've heard, I think her dad had her, basically punching and learning how to punch since she was like 4 years old. So it's been in the DNA. She is from, I believe, Burton, up in the northeast, or is it Durham? No, Durham. I have to say it's Durham. She's from in the northeast, not Burton. That's Midlands. Yeah, apologies on the geography there. But yeah, back to her ring style. So yeah, as I said, she's very sort of a pressuring pure boxer. There's not much power there, to be totally honest, but her actual fundamentals are very sound, and it's easy to see how she had sort of the level of amateur success that she did in the youth games. She's currently competing at 154, so super welterweight. I do strongly believe that that's not where she will end up overall. I do think that she will end up coming down to 147 and possibly even 140, because she is quite sort of a squatty character, and you can tell there is some excess size there which she may be able to drop. She could definitely go down to 147, 140, maybe not. I'm not sure exactly how her body composition is, but from the outside looking in, it looks as if there is, you know, weight that is sheddable in order to sort of make those lighter weights. And at that weight, I feel that she would actually probably be a much better operator, just from the fact of she would be naturally stockier, bigger, and maybe stronger than the girls that are at 140 and 147, and she may even be able to affect them more with some of the shots that she does let off. As I said, very sort of composed, very languid, very calm. I haven't seen her panic in any of her professional bouts or the limited amateur bouts that I have seen. So definitely one to look out for. Hopefully she will be back on the undercard when that event does get rescheduled. But if for nothing else, check her out if you're interested, and sort of, you know, make your own assessments on her. But that's pretty much what I can say about Georgia O'Connor. Okay, so the second person I will talk about is a recent addition to the Peter Fury gym up in the northeast. Again, they are from the northeast of England, somewhere along Tyneside, but I don't remember the actual name of the town that they're from. And as I don't want to just say Newcastle or South Shields or Hartlepool, because that's, you know, disrespectful. So you'll have to do that Google yourself, unfortunately. That being said, they sport a professional record of 5 wins, 1 loss, with I believe 1 KO at present. Now the loss they had was actually the fight before last, so their second to last fight, and it was against Kirsty Bavington, who was definitely brought in as an opponent for them. But this lady goes by the name of April Hunter. Now she is a super welterweight, and I think also has campaigned as a welterweight as well, so she flits in between those 2 weight classes. Looking at her style in terms of the professional fights, because I don't know a huge amount about her amateur background, I haven't seen much of any of that, if there is any, so again, apologies. My knowledge on her is pretty limited. Maybe someone at Sporting Icons will be able to give you a lot more of a breakdown of her than I can. But going off the style itself, she's a classic boxer puncher in terms of just the base style. Sort of everything is just set up behind a jab. She'll come with pretty much a lot of straight 1-2 combinations. Occasionally, if it gets a bit messy on the inside, then she'll come with hooks after sort of a 1-2 if she can't get full extension on her punches. Not the greatest inside fighter from what I've seen. A lot of her work does do its best efforts from the outside, you know, where she can sort of get that full extension. She's quite a tall girl as well, so she's normally able to sort of use the levers and use her range to her advantage, but does sort of seem to leave some to be desired more closer, like I said, to the inside, where she can kind of be outworked and outlanded. As I said, she's rebounded off the loss that she had, but it was against a nothing opponent. She was supposed to be on the card, so hopefully she will get onto the repeat card when it does happen around about October the 15th, if that is still to be the date. But yeah, if you haven't seen much, I mean, you know, check her out yourself. There's, I think, 3 of her fights you can probably find on YouTube at the moment, and you can sort of yeah, make up your own mind on her. But yeah, I wanted to just give a little bit of light to April Hunter as someone to potentially watch, who could you know, be something significant in the near future, or maybe probably more the distant future, but there's enough ingredients there for her to have some potential moving forward. So yeah, give her a look and sort of let me know what your thoughts are. Okay, so last one on this volume, I want to speak about someone who's not in the northeast of England, but it's actually in the south of England, Portsmouth to be exact. Now I think they actually had a modelling career or had some form of modelling experience in addition to their boxing, or possibly prior to their professional boxing debut anyway. But sporting a professional record of 2-0-1, so that's 2 wins, no losses and 1 draw. I want to speak a little bit about Ebony Jones. Now Ebony Jones is 24 years old at present, although she doesn't look it. But she is very much a pressure fighter. If you look at her, she's quite short, so she's very sort of squatty, but she's got very sort of thick legs. You can see that she's got a very sort of thick and big base, which she uses to great advantage when she actually is in the ring. Like, she squats down low and dips underneath her opponent's offense to be able to penetrate into their defensive range, and will sort of throw numerous shots close mid-range to inside, once inside the opponent's guard. It's actually it's a very sort of skillful way to box. It's also a very dangerous way to box, but when you are like a shorter, sort of a shorter combatant, you have to take risks to get into range, and a lot of the time that ends up meaning that you will be in your opponent's kill box to get success. But she's fast enough and active enough to sort of even overwhelm a lot of her opponents. She doesn't throw really tight shots or even straight shots. They are normally like looping or winging shots sort of around the guard, sort of around the straight 1-2 that might be coming back at her. But it also does have a habit of sometimes getting caught with those shots when she's trying to gain entry, possibly setting herself to throw a shot before she's actually evaded the danger. But that being said, for sort of a free fight novice, there is definitely some potential there. I believe she's currently fights in the bantamweight division, so I do believe she is at 118 at present, and there is possible room that she can maybe go down to super fly. But I think there's also a very valid argument to say that with her sort of natural size that she does have, she would also probably not look too out of place at super bantamweight either, 122. So yeah, if you get a chance, again, have a look at Ebony Jones. Like I said, it's a very textbook pressure fighter type style. If you think of maybe someone like, minus obviously punching power, but someone like Mike Tyson, the way he would get in and around the taller opponents by sort of dipping down, and dipping underneath their shots and sort of coming up with the hooks, with the uppercuts. She doesn't throw straight shots like Mike, but she uses and employs a very similar tactics to get in and out of range. So yeah, if I was going to sort of compare to someone that you would actually know, just in terms of the movement to get inside, that's probably what I would say. But I'm not comparing the skill levels or the actual ability. So I don't want anyone to say, oh, he's calling her the female Mike Tyson. I'm not. She also sports, as I said, she's 2-0-1, but there's also no knockouts there. So there is I guess there is a potential to maybe get stoppages if she can outwork opponents more sort of through later rounds, or possibly even work on sitting on some punches a little bit more than she currently does. But yeah, I feel like that's suitable information on Ebony Jones. Have a look at her. Let me know in the comments what you do think. And yeah, hopefully her fight also gets rescheduled for the card coming up, and if not, then get her onto another card that you've got. All of these women need to be active, so early in their careers. Activity is their best friend. But look, I'm going to leave it there for today. Thank you very much for watching. Again, I apologize, I don't have a huge amount of knowledge on these three, but sort of what little knowledge I did have, I wanted to share and pass on in case it was of any use or relevance to anyone that does watch. But yeah, look out for volume 9, which should be dropping in the next couple weeks. Might even be as early as next week if I get it sorted. There's a few people in there I do actually have quite a bit of knowledge on, and I will be divulging that. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your night, or if you're watching this in the morning, have a great day. Do whatever you're doing, be productive. Check out the Undefeated podcast tomorrow or today if that's when you're seeing it, and then look out for basis picks on this channel dropping on Friday. I've got some hot takes, and I might actually, I've got to do it. I've got to make sure I get it done quick before the Denzel Bentley fights as well. So yeah, you're gonna see that probably earlier than normal, Friday, Saturday, and yeah, we're gonna move into the weekend. But thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you guys soon.